Hello, good evening. The cladding scandal of 2017 is now, it would appear, the cladding scandal of 2021. Anyone assuming the tragedy at Grenfell would lead to a wholesale stripping of these flammable materials from people's homes is still waiting to see that happen. Today, in a Commons vote, Labour pushed the government to reveal the extent of the problem, fund the removal of the cladding and make sure the owners were not being charged extortionate costs for fixing their unsafe and unsellable houses. Our political editor, Nick Watt, is here to remind us, Nick, first, what this is all about.
Well, Boris Johnson said last week that the government will be making an announcement on how this is going to move this forward very shortly. And it looks to me, I'm told that...
Thank you all very much. Thank you for joining us this evening. The South Africa variant of COVID has hit small pockets of the UK. Today, in a sign of how nervous the government is of any further spread, the Health Secretary named 8 postcodes in England where the new variant had been found and said it was imperative residents there got tested even if they showed no symptoms of the disease. The cases don't appear to be linked, but it is the hardline testing requirement an indication the government's seriously concerned about this development. Nick Watt is back.
Over the next couple of weeks.
Myanmar is under curfew tonight in a one-year state of emergency. The democratically elected leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, is nowhere to be seen. The troops are on the street. This is what a real coup looks like, throwing any pretence at democratic reform out the window, putting the army in charge. Suu Kyi won a landslide in the elections just last month. Military leaders decided early this morning they'd remove her, calling her win a fraud. Suu Kyi herself has been roundly condemned by the international community, who accused her of complicity in the genocide of Rohingya Muslims. Should this act of force tell us how little power she actually wielded in her home country? Well, our international editor, Gabriel Gatehouse, is here. Just talk us through the events of today, Gabriel, because they're really quite shocking.
Well, Emily, this had all the classic elements of a military coup. The army announcement on TV.
Suu Kyi is this very complicated figure now, Gabriel. I mean, 25 years, almost permanent house arrest that she was under, fighting for democracy, and then she finally attains power and presides over what is now UN-recognised genocide.
Yeah, I mean, the question has always been military, and really this is the result, this is her comeuppance. Or we say, look, this just proves she could never have done anything about it. She was always acting from a position of weakness in the face of the military's continued control.
It's really interesting. Gabriel, thanks very much. Well, a little earlier I spoke to Christine Schreiner-Bergenet, the UN envoy to Myanmar. I began by asking her if she had any idea where Aung San Suu Kyi is and whether she thought she was safe. That was David Grossman reporting from New York, and let's take you through the front pages, very much corona-led with that new South African variant. Sage warned number 10 over the mutant virus weeks ago is the top story in the Times today. 80,000 people tested for the South African variant after the government, they say, ignored the advice to close borders, which came from Sage. The Guardian has South Africa variant cases trigger sprint to curb the spread in Britain, and a picture of the protesters against the coup in Myanmar holding up images of Aung San Suu Kyi, who they voted into power just a month ago. And the Daily Telegraph has the PM is pushing to reopen schools as cases fall. Ministers, we understand, are told to prepare for the return of children to classes after Chris Whitty says the infection peak has passed. That is all from us for tonight. We're back tomorrow. Hope you'll join us then. Bye-bye.